Sugar, sugar, sugar. Spice, spice, spice. And everything nice.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Aria Allies. So, if you're new to my channel, my name is Aria and I am actually currently writing my own full-length manuscript. It is about a group of teens who are fighting to save themselves and the world around them because an interdimensional king believes that they have stolen his power and is hunting them down to take it back. But I am not going to be talking about Project CR, which is the name of my manuscript. I'm not going to be talking about that today. That is for my Project CR series. This is just about like general writing content or things that I keep in mind as I'm writing. I usually post a lot of like series content that's pertaining to my full-length manuscript and like the journey that I'm taking as my writing journey or whatever. But today is not that day because I wanted to start posting like general writing content, just like something to show like what I usually think about during my writing process or things like that. So that's what this video is going to be about. Today I'm going to be just giving 3 pieces of like writing advice that I live by or that I keep in mind as I'm writing, and things that these are just like things that I've heard over the years and things that people have told me and that I've just like kept just close and in the back of my mind as I am writing. So I was like, why not share that with you guys as well? The first thing that really came to mind is that a lot of the times you have to, well, you should, I wouldn't say you have to, because obviously you don't have to do any of these things that I'm saying, but one of the things that you should do probably is just read what you want to write. I read a lot of, I'm writing fantasy and fiction. So like I said in a whole introduction spill, I'm writing a fantasy and fiction book. It's young adult genre. It's for like that nice little age range or whatever. And I also enjoy reading that as well. And reading that also kind of pushed me to write it. But now that I am writing it, I do think that it's important to continue to read it because you can see different authors' points of view on the same type of genre that you are writing. So you get to see their stylistic choices, their points of view, how like I watch interviews about them and like what they also think about when they're writing and going through their journey. So I think it's also just important to kind of have their voice going through your head, because also you can it's kind of like watching, if you're into sports or if you've heard of, I don't know, like actors or coming up actors or anything like that. It's kind of like watching the people who came before you and kind of like mimicking that and then making it your own a bit. So it's something very similar to that. It's just kind of like seeing what authors that have inspired you do in their works and then mimicking that and making that like your own and making it your own voice. And like, you know, it's kind of like something similar to that. So that's my first piece of advice. I think that I've seen a lot of people do this as well. So it's not like something that only I do or that I came up with. Like I see a lot of people on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube content pertaining to like writing or just book talk, new books that are out or whatever. And they also do this as well. So, you know, I just think if a lot of people are doing it, and obviously don't do what everyone else is doing, but you know, if a lot of people are doing it and it's working for you, why not, you know, give it a try. So, and generally people are already unknowingly do this. Like when I heard of this, I was like, oh, I'm actually already like reading books like that's pertaining to my genre. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a given or whatever, like you're already doing it, so you might as well just continue it. Advice number 2 is just to write every single day. I know that it can be like very hard to write every single day, especially like if you're a college student like me, if you go to work every day, if you have kids or whatever type of life you're living at the moment. I know that it can be like hard to really find that time to write, but I do think that it is important to find that time because it's just a lot of times us as writers, we write when we feel like it, when we feel inspired, when we have the perfect cup of coffee or hot chocolate and we're cozied up and it's probably raining outside or something, and you're like, okay, all this is perfect and now I'm gonna write. But if you only write when you feel like it, then it's gonna take you forever to finish a first draft. It's gonna take you forever to do the things you want. And I'm actually like living that right now, because at the beginning stages of my writing journey, I only wrote when I felt like it, and it would take me months. It would take me like a month to write like chapter 1 of something, like one chapter of something. And I'm like, goodness gracious, like why is it taking me that long? And I'm like, oh, because I'm only writing when I feel the want to, or when I feel like, oh, like I feel inspired, let me write now. And you can't just do it when you want to, because you're never gonna get finished, you're never gonna get done. So that's just like advice number 2. You have to just really write, because also what I've heard as well that's like super important, and one thing that I just like I just take this like to heart, is when they say you can't edit a blank page. You can't edit if there's no words on the page. There's nothing to edit. If you write something that's terrible, that's trash, okay, that's fine. You write it, you look at it, you don't like it, close your computer, do something else, come back to it. Okay, I want to keep this premise, I want to keep this beat, but let's change it to this. And then you kind of build off that and then make it better. So that's why I'm like, even if you don't like what you're seeing on the page, you don't like your writing session, you're not liking the words that you're putting down, it's completely fine, because again, it is just a first draft. It is just something that it's going to change over time anyway, and by the time that you get to the point where you need it to be, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I got all that from a terrible sentence, like that makes no sense whatsoever. Just make sure you write make sure you just schedule a time, you know, like I scheduled 7 p.m. for me, and that's usually my writing time. That's when my alarm goes off, and that's most of the time I'm doing absolutely nothing at 7. So I'm like, okay, my alarm's off, let me start typing, let me start writing, let me, you know, get into the work zone. And if I'm in the zone, cool. If I'm not, and if I know that I'm putting BS on the page, it's completely fine, because I'm gonna come back later and I'm gonna fix it later. And also I'm gonna fix it after my first draft is finished. I'm not gonna keep going back to it throughout the first draft. I'm gonna wait until after my whole first draft is finished, then you go through and you start your editing process and things like that. You don't have to work that way, but that's just the way that I'm working. Again, you don't have to follow any of the things I'm saying in this video, but this is just what has been helping me, and so that's just why I'm sharing it with you. So we are at the last piece of advice. This one's kind of like simple, but it's also kind of, I've heard this piece of advice said towards me many times, and I've also heard it just online in general, and it's just to write what you know. So a lot of times you might see something selling in the market. You might see, okay, this is what's in, sci-fi's in, fantasy's in, or whatever, but let's say that you're not into sci-fi, you're not into that. You'll say you're probably like a nonfiction writer, and you try to write fiction, and then now you're kind of in a spot where you don't really know what you're writing, but this is like selling, this is what people like, this is what the masses want, so you're trying to appease them, but you're also, it's not something that you really know, or that you really feel for, that you really kind of like enjoy, really. So it's, you know, you're probably not going to be able to put out your best piece of work if you're writing something that is like foreign to you. So that's just something that like stayed with me. There might be science fiction pieces of writing that I enjoy or love, and I'm like, I don't really know a lot about science fiction. I don't really know a lot about how to incorporate all of the aspects that I need to create a beautiful science fiction story. What I do know a lot is about fantasy. I know, like, I love world building. I love creating like things from just like nothing. I love kind of incorporating that. Science fiction is something it's close to fantasy, but it's also an entirely different genre in itself. Like, yeah, it's still fiction, but it's also it's something that's just different, and that I just never really got into it. So if I wanted to, I'd have to like really get into it, know it, understand it, to be able to really write about it. And it would be something that I truly wanted to write about. I wouldn't write about it just because of that's what's selling, or that's what's in the market, or that's what I'm seeing a lot of people want or ask for. I have to write it because I want to, or because because I can see like myself really being able to put the time and the effort into it. And that's not saying to only write like what you want. You should definitely like reach out and branch out and like do some things that you've never done before, but there still has to be a balance, you know, like a level of, okay, I like this and I don't really like this, but I can compromise a bit, you know. But yeah, so those are my 3 pieces of advice. This is a nice cute little short video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's actually 10:12 and my bedtime is like 10:30, so I'm going to be going to bed. Hopefully this will be a short video edit. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys later. I'll see you guys this Sunday for my Project CR series that will be out this Sunday. And guys, we're trying to get to 60K, so hopefully we make it. Bye bye.